Hello everyone, and welcome back to Minecraft with the Z-Liminex mod pack. An absolutely massive mod pack which aims to completely overhaul the Minecraft experience in order to facilitate exploration as a focus. Exploration of crumbling, abandoned cities and liminal spaces all in one. There's a lot going on here. It also expands on the mechanics and gameplay, changes enemies and world and items. There's just so much here, and I briefly went over it in a video where I approached it from an urban explorer's perspective. See, in addition to everything else this mod pack does, it also includes a class system, one which determines your reason for being here, and also determines the tools that you start with. I'll be honest, a big reason why I'm so inspired to try this right now is because I just recently, for Gary's mod, explored the Complex map, which is based off of Kane Pixel's Backrooms series. Now, I've explored the Backrooms 1,000,001 times in games, including in this very mod. And the reason I want to do it so much is because that focuses on the science of it. Not just of being lost in these places, but of experimenting with them, of trying to figure out what makes them work, how they came to be, taking samples and trying to map the place and come up with solutions to make things easier to navigate. All that stuff really appeals to me, that trial and error, that trying to achieve a greater understanding of the incomprehensible. So I don't like to spend a whole lot of time on menus, I would rather show you. So let's create a new world. There's Asbestos Lungs, our old one. I think it's better if we start fresh. Z-Limitips, let's play the stall game! And I'm gonna set it to peaceful at first, but we'll probably change that later on. That tip on the bottom is a big part of what we're doing here. So here we have all manner of classes, and I went over them in the first video. But the Nodonaut is what we're looking for. A scientist trapped in a strange place by their former employers. Am I dreaming? You start the game in the city of Nod. You get a full hazmat suit, MREs, bandages, lanterns to light your way, a gunk scraper for collecting samples, a trusty crowbar for channeling your inner Gordon Freeman, and a cute plushie for moral support, since you're trapped here forever. Okie dokie. Whoa! The city of Nod, shadows of Kowloon. It really is like we just fell out of our reality suddenly. I'm already seeing strange creatures in the sky. Okay, we need to make our way to shore immediately. Obviously getting really poor performance right here as I'm waiting for all this to load in, but that should smooth out pretty quickly. Minute 1 in the city of Nod. I just watched a mountain dematerialize in front of me and be replaced. What is that? No, what is that? Oh my god! Look at you, those aren't arms, those are like a long proboscis with teeth on the end. Are they coming for me? I don't think they should be able to. That Minecraft music's so familiar. But just slightly off, and there's like a breath on the wind. How are we getting around this? There's just these huge blocks. Listen to you. We just got something. Cosmic cod. The fauna here are like nothing I've ever seen before. But this looks like a human city, albeit abandoned and crumbling. Okay, we need to make our way along the shore and try to get inside. There's bridges, so at least they don't expect us to navigate this like Venice. They're colliding with each other and teleporting into the sky. Meanwhile, those are diving down to attack them. Okay, well, I guess I'm glad to not be part of the local food chain. I can't help but think of H.P. Lovecraft stories, how these look like they were built by something resembling modern humans, but imagine finding out they were anything but. Well, I guess finding out is exactly what we're here to do. We just need to find a way inside. I'm walking a really long way, and there is, like, no gap between these buildings. Like, none. There's so much here. I am overwhelmed before I've even had a chance to get my bearings. Wait. There is a wall here, but not one we can climb up to meet. Actually, wait. Can we pull this? Maybe I can stack some of this stuff from the shore. I thought it was wet sand, but it doesn't sound like it. Huh, look at that. It's actually made of carpet. Like synthetic fibers, I guess, and it's damp. I guess it must be absorbing water from right here. Well, I can stick it to the wall like, I don't know, spitballs? Can't help but think of that every time I hear it. Wait, look at this. There's some kind of purple vines running all down the building, but it doesn't seem to be in rough shape. How could it be in this pristine condition while having overgrowth all over it, unless it was always supposed to be there? Hey, look at that. We've got a little Strider plush. We'll put you down in a second. In the meantime, am I able to get this? Kudzu. Well, I can eat the leaves. The gunk scraper doesn't seem to do anything with it. Alright, let's get inside. There's an intact fountain still here. Hang on, wait. Let's make sure we have all the right equipment before we do anything. Huh. Seems we do. We actually come equipped with a full hazmat suit, which is good. I mean, we have no idea what's in that water, and this being a completely different plane, honestly, we don't even know what's in the air. But we do have our lantern for light. And it's no flashlight, but it'll have to do. Now, what is this stuff? We saw this all around the outside of this place. It's very, very tough. I don't know if we'll be able to retrieve any with how many hits with the crowbar this is going to take. I keep seeing these little purple dots in the air, like motes of glowing dust. I wonder what those are about. No, it's basically pounded into dust by the time we can retrieve any. Well, look, if we can get to some high ground, maybe we'll be able to get our bearings. There's glass dividers, but other than that, the floors are completely empty. The echo is unnerving. I'm choosing to believe that constant breath in my ear is just the sound of the waves lapping at the shore. And books. Although I don't know if I can actually read any of them. Okay, so if we put down a lantern by mistake, we cannot retrieve it. So we're gonna have to be careful about that. I may have to make myself a pickaxe. Problem is, finding the materials may be difficult. Look at that, there's a light source in there. Can we reach it? Those red spires are like some kind of mold or even coral. Seems to mostly prefer the water. Right here, the staircase should take us where we're going. Look at that. A glowing archway. A flooded room, however many stories up. Oh. At the rate the sun is going down, we may have to end up spending the night here. It's like a portal to some heavenly world. But I guess it failed. We're still making our way to the roof. What is this? This whole place is utterly pristine, and right at the level of the clouds, it's just gone. I should actually be careful. Maybe the vapor contained in these clouds is acidic or something. Very acidic to melt away a building. I'm gonna have to be careful, or else I'm gonna end up stepping over the ledge. Like that. Well, there goes my dream of being able to see anything from here. Oh, this is terrifying. As it starts to pass, we can see all the things that are out at sea. It seems to mostly be these red rocks and something that looks suspiciously like a tower made of the same stuff. Well, if it's gonna get dark, we may as well keep our exploration limited to indoors for now. Times like this, I really miss the flashlight. At least it's some comfort, that sound. If it weren't for the waves, I'd be in complete silence except for the echo of my footsteps. These places are so empty and cavernous, but why? Well, that looks like a campfire. Maybe I'm not the first to end up here? The description said I was sent here by my company. So I guess it's research into this and transdimensional travel that got us here. Brick. Hey, a jukebox! Doesn't seem like I can mess with it. There's some plastic here. I'm gonna have to figure out what I can do with all these samples. I guess when it's in our inventory like this, it doesn't display its same teleportation abilities. Huh. Now, why does this look so familiar? I think I remember seeing photos of something resembling this in meetings at the company. Do you hear that? Oh, I think it's one of those fish. And another of those gates. I walked into the fog, it got dark, I heard what sounded like footsteps, and that tense soundtrack started playing. What do we do? These gates are locked? No, I think I want to go back. I want to go back to that place that looks familiar because maybe I can figure out something of what the company was up to. They had pictures of places like this. There seems to be no rhyme or reason to what materials make up walls, floor. Can I get a sample? Wallpaper. It's actually some kind of wallpaper. There is a 1% chance a skeleton will be named Darwin. The rest are members of the Bone Brigade. Oh yeah, you don't study transdimensional travel without being ready for them. I think they also had pictures of a similar structure. But that was something that wasn't even a dimension they accessed. It was actually something they discovered in a software abnormality. I think it was in like a game or something. Writing. I can't quite read it, but it looks like math equations, diagrams. It's like an impression of an office. But it's so cluttered and the placement of the furniture makes no sense. I'm pushing buttons, but none of this seems to work. So if there were humans here, or something like humans, then the question is, what happened to them? Because aside from some very out-of-place destruction on these buildings, I haven't seen anything that indicates violence. You know what? This does seem like a good place to spend the night, maybe. Can I get an axe? That would be very helpful. A stuck axe. Only good for being stuck. See, this is the problem with over-specialization of tools. There is a restroom, though. We've seen familiar numbers, English text. There's even soap still in the soap dispenser. So maybe we haven't entirely abandoned civilization. Ooh, a newspaper. That we cannot seem to read. Oh, hey. Is that another plush? Yeah, sure. The Strider's gonna need a friend, right? There's nothing else here. Honestly, this thing is so insulated from the outside world, I feel a lot safer in here. But it looks like the sun is rising, so maybe now's the time to hit the streets. Hello? You're just a plain old raccoon, aren't you? Do you eat these? I guess you do. I'll be honest, part of this is a test to see if it's safe. But it seems like we've made it. Now this is an anomaly. Look, this medicine cabinet has a glass case. We can see objects, medications inside of it. But when we open it, it all disappears, like it's only visible when observed through the glass. Almost as if the glass itself has some kind of intrinsic properties. Water coolers featuring no water. And coffee machines featuring no way to actually pour out the coffee to find out if it's real. Alright, but I am wasting daylight. We'll continue exploring tonight. For now, my primary objective is to find some materials I can work on, although... Look, artificial plants? Some of it, seems to genuinely serve purpose. And yet other things are, like, completely nonsensical. For example... It's a complete maze. What at first glance seems like office cubicles ends up being a labyrinth with no practical purpose, at least none that I can see. Oh, hey, another review here. You guys can be reunited. A lot of what I've seen, like, almost makes sense, but then most of it sort of reminds me of if AI were asked to reconstruct a place from only a handful of photos. Being able to mimic the appearance without actually understanding the purpose for anything. And also we have haunted floating books. So, you know, as a man of science, my deeply held convictions are being challenged on the regular around here. And I think that cursed software also had something like this. Gravel, you know what? I'll take it. Any loose materials may be of use. Wait, research notes nod 3! Dr. Addie Hale, chronometrics. I went to college with Addie! How's she doing? I'm still trying to get down to ground level, though. I spent so much time climbing up. And now, this place with endless connectivity, I just can't get it to take me where I want. All this stuff is just growing seemingly selectively on surfaces. Look, it'll be all over one building, but as soon as its surface material changes, it's just a clean gap. I'm wasting so much time, though. Well, apparently this toilet was used. Ah, we just wasted another lantern. It's like a reverse stall. A reverse stall where you enter through the back next to the toilet, which is completely open, and then you open the door and enter the bathroom itself. Wouldn't want any void beings slipping on the wet floor. Look, there's even a bucket out to catch the dripping water. And something I hadn't even commented on because I was so fascinated by the search. These buildings, these skyscrapers, they're all internally connected. It's as if these aren't separate private companies, but that entire blocks were built with intention. There's just a giant water tank with nothing else in it in the basement. Oh, and a cage leading off beyond the edge of my lantern's light. Let's not forget that. And also, not expose ourselves to whatever might be lurking in there. Okay, street level. We've made it to street level. Sort of. These doorways don't actually allow us to get here. I hate to disturb what is essentially an archaeological site at this point, but I may have to break out. Yep. Not much choice. Here, maybe I can put that back where I found it at the very least. Everything seems to be at least vaguely damp. Everything sticks together. No wonder they don't want anyone coming out here. Look, it's a rail track. It's pretty wide for something that's only a single track, but this may be our only way to move on. I don't think we're getting to street level so far. Z-Limitex. You cannot leave the city of Nod without sleeping in a strange bed. Or dying. This is so strange. A little courtyard between buildings where the tracks seal off the exits. Either it was built this way, or it was built with no regard for the doors. In any case, it seems like my only way forward now is to go underground. Well, hey, with any luck, we'll find some good gunk to scrape. Oh wow, this is really steep. And never mind the fact that I'm stepping on powered rails, it's totally fine. There's a light from the end, but I can't really see much otherwise. There's a long, wide central tunnel, but everything else is pretty narrow. Maybe this can take me to a nearby station? Moss. Can I take that? I actually can, but I need to do it. I need to do it without a lantern in my inventory. That's going to make this hard. More of this stuff. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to scrape this. If the moss tastes funny, congratulations. You didn't die of hunger. Well, it's not too late to die of something else. Moss clump. And now the only question is, what do we actually do with it? It seems like the underground is just as much of a maze as everything above it. It's like this whole place was built to value connectivity. Connectivity of transit, connectivity between buildings. Even to the detriment of everything else. And yet it's not connected in all the weirdest ways. Like sometimes you have a path to walk into the building next to you, but no path to go downstairs. At least this is hanging low enough that I can maybe crawl under it, just enough space. But things are getting darker and darker. But a weird little junction. Wait. Huh. I can always count on your little eyes in the dark to guide the way. I think it's another one of those fish. Oh my god, that's a big bug. You guys don't need to be in water, although you are always found near it. The fact that you're here makes me suspect that I'm in an underwater tunnel right now. Look, look, look. There's lights from a platform over there. Or at least I assume that's... Yes, that's gotta be a platform. The performance not amazing right now. Look at how steep these stairs are. Not exactly friendly. I guess it's the best we've got. With any luck, this will lead us to street level. Of course, it'll do so in the middle of the night. It also seems like that station was pretty deep underground. You know, if anything, we've discovered that the toilet construction is nothing short of fascinating in this realm. What was that? Okay, something long and glowing just slithered around the corner. It looked kind of like one of those things we saw flying earlier. There's a kitchen. A kitchen in here right across from the toilets. But you know what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because Grandma's macaroni casserole. Exactly like my grandma used to make. Just sitting here like it was waiting for me. Okay, well, we'll save that for when we're a little hungrier. It's like bathroom stalls serving the function of office cubicles. Look at that, that's a gap between buildings. This is technically outdoor. But with this close proximity, the alley feels more like a hallway. The city of Nod. The city isn't meant for you. Different message every time. Okay, well, I've gone ahead and located a lot more ramps, so hopefully things should be a lot smoother now. Thank you. Oh, it's soundtrack. For a second I thought there was some kind of demonic ice cream truck out here. Imagine if that was the ambassador of the Nod people. Sunrise. Maybe it is diegetic. Maybe this is this world's, I don't know, rooster that lets you know when morning is here. Can we get out at all? All this time, I have not... Keep in mind, all this time we've been walking, I haven't been choosing not to go to the street. I've been unable to get there at all. A bed. First place to sleep we've seen. So it's only right that we should get to sleep here. You know what? We're taking this with us. Oh, God. After the last couple days, I feel so rested. Okay, here's where we need to put on our science hat. We need to start removing some samples of floor. Dry, moldy carpet. If anything, I think this whole place is characterized by the growth of smaller organisms, things that survive on moisture. Those big red coral blocks, the mold that we find on the wall, and the stuff that grows in these carpets. Even at times, there will be windows backing onto walls. Look at this. The entire floor of this place is dirt, or some kind of dirt. A kind of dirt so dense I can't even seem to really remove it from the ground. But there doesn't seem to be anything different about this stuff. And this is more of that node room's carpet that seems to grow naturally in the water. A place where I can just sit in a brick room full of books and read in the rain. At one time, this would have been my dream. Okay, this is our home away from home. Come on. I would be crazy not to sit here and relax for all this is worth. We've got waterfront property. So let's use this opportunity to see what our colleague said. It's like the soundtrack even recognizes what this is. Just a place where we can finally sit in the light right beside the window and watch the rainfall completely insulated in our cozy little space. Okay, well, you know what? I always think that rainy weather is great for reading. So now would be the perfect time to see what our colleague had to say. Am I not the first of us to come here? Plush figures appear hidden in alcoves. They never move or speak. I would hope not. Is there precedent for you to make that distinction? Save for the signs above or near them. Are they silent wardens? Or a bored entity entertaining themselves? With plushies like a lost child? The syntax of that is a little weird. But you say they sometimes appear with signs, with messages. Well, I know that sometimes they're literal wardens. There's all our materials. At least the entrance is kind of hard to spot. Look at this. Now this is a picture of splendor, but it seems over time the basements have been filled with that carpet. It's almost as if it is mold, but growing in the shape of synthetic carpet. There's a different kind of lantern. It's so narrow. There must be a ton of wasted space on this floor. Well, there was a gate back there, and right here, a gate to nowhere. I'll take the gate to somewhere, thank you very much. Another research note. Observations. Clocks do tick in the nod, but time stops whenever I sleep. Sleep test. Chronometer logs 8 hours. I feel rested. I feel hungry. But the moon, it's in the same place in the sky. It's like time doesn't really move for you, but it's the exact opposite. I don't feel hungry. I don't feel necessarily rested, other than in my achy muscles. But it seems like time passes extremely quickly. Notes. Time resumes only when I am awake. Mechanism unknown. I've only slept once or twice. I actually hadn't even had a chance to observe, but it seems like Addie was sent here just like me, and has been more or less following in the same path. Or rather, I'm following her. I wonder if she had any more luck reaching the street than I did. No, but I'm not actually seeing any street. I look down and all I see is these courtyards between buildings. Perhaps not, because none of these doors have buttons, at least not accessible to me. Funny how that works out, huh? Now I remember what those pictures were about. They talked about a project wherein they had discovered some realm that looked like this. I think the Interdimensional Research Project had actually encountered something like this. They were expecting alien landscapes and barren, desolate deserts. And what they found was something more like this. Endless hallways and rooms. Things that seemed to look like something you might find in some Earth grandma's house. But just never ending. And last I heard, there were projects underway to try and map it out. But it was an uphill battle. This stuff is gonna have to get out of the way. Wait. No. I have only succeeded in getting right back here. You've gotta be kidding. I'm just picking random directions and going, and yet somehow it always seems to lead me back to the same places. With me following so closely behind Addie, it doesn't seem natural. It's almost like this whole thing is secretly linear. Straight onto glass. Well, you know what? Past caring. Well past caring. This iron is starting to rust. So the question is, why now? And how are these sections of wall defying gravity? That's another thing we should probably ask ourselves. Everything was pristine, but it's like it's only decaying in my presence. Maybe, going by Addie's notes, maybe time really does only pass when observed by a waking observer. The rules of this world work so differently, but only in subtle ways, that I didn't even notice because things only don't work that way when I'm not around to see them. The city groans. So here's the issue I'm starting to have. I'm having a really, really difficult time actually finding street-level connections. Every time I do get outside, which is rare, it's always like a courtyard between buildings. The only time I've been able to move between buildings, really, is when I found the subway. In other words, I'm starting to worry that from what we're seeing out these windows, there may not actually be a connected street system, at least not nearby. I'm worried that we may just be clusters of buildings on independent islands. So right now the plan is to get the high ground and see what we can see. Bread. Can we have some? Well, I guess not right now. Oh, it's a whole bakery! Not just a bakery, a pizzeria. Well, I guess we'll hold on to that for a little while. Wait, another one of her notes! She was here! I've been wandering in this building for hours. It looked like a skyscraper from the outside. Yet through a window, I found myself in an entirely different place. We may be working in reverse. Nod 3. And nod. Well, we're finding them in order. Alright, but remember, we're trying to get as high up as we can. It's weird. We've been finding her notes in a chain, and yet it's sort of like she approached from the outside. Somebody wanted to recreate the outdoors. I think it's starting to get dark out. Yeah, I can see a couple windows down there. It's like every floor is completely disconnected from the last. Have I ended up going, no. This isn't the same. I didn't leave the bread this way. SWAT gear. Scrap metal, coal. I'll take the coal. I don't even know how many floors I've climbed at this point. It just keeps getting taller and taller. Somebody had a skyscraper hangout spot. Look, there's a pool table, dining room stuff. We really need to build a pickaxe. But in order to do that, we need to get some wood that we can break down. That's easier said than done. Salty dried moss clump. I suppose we can eat this stuff if need be, but my biggest concern right now is just figuring out where I can examine it. I have a microscope here. A microphone is something a little different. Although, I suppose we could put the two of them together and see what happens. I am a scientist, after all. I don't want to be messing with that. I was thinking I could drop down to another floor. Alright, so what's going on over here? If anything, all this reveals to us is that the reason we can't find street level is because these buildings are so densely packed. They're literally touching each other. There may be an outside, but there's nothing we can do with that information. Some of these are also missing their upper floors. But look, it's so weird how it's like they're decaying individually, how one can be almost reduced to rubble, and the one next to it completely fine. We can maybe break in through that window, much as it pains me to do so. We do actually get the resizable spruce window from that. Okay, I'm gonna have to look into which mod that is. I've got a creative series going. You know, between this and the creative series and Broken Script, I'm basically a Minecraft YouTuber now. You know what that means? I'm gonna have to work on that creative world some more. Anyway. It's up and down, up and down. That's kind of the way of things. Are these hypnotic fish actually sentient? Look at this, they're sitting in the chairs. Are you actually the primary beings that built this world? Or did you maybe use your powers to compel someone to do it? And now you're all that's left, now that you had no more need of them. Maybe I should tread more carefully around you guys. Really thought I was falling off a building there. Look at us just kind of shimmying our way along the ruins. Somebody spray painted a heart right here. That's just like Addie. Maybe she would have been inspired by the art that's on the wall. Hang on. Okay, well, that's not quite what I meant. A double bathroom. Had I built myself a bridge across, this is what I would have been faced with. And that's not all. Hang on. Do you see that? That looks like just a stairway to nowhere. A couple of doors on top. We made it to day 4. Maggoty bread. You know, could have fooled me. I almost thought it was moss. As a scientist, I am tremendously interested in moss. Whoa. That structure back there wasn't the only one. I count 1, 2, 3 stairways to nowhere, including one that's free-floating. And many of these buildings have those vines growing on them. I mean, kudzu is very much a real plant, but it doesn't look like it should. I desperately want to be over there, but it would be really, really difficult to get there. It doesn't seem like there's much opportunity for us around this area, but what other choice do I have? Also, there's a fire burning on some distant floating platform. I'm a man of science, not a man of action, okay? I believe in sitting back and observing. I believe in analysis. I've never been super physically inclined. But I only see one surefire way to make sure I get there. This is gonna suck, this is gonna suck, this is gonna suck, this is gonna suck, this is gonna suck! Oh my god, I didn't need to look that way! Worst part's over. The floating city of Nod. Or should I say flooded city? Actually, I'm not sure, because it seems to be up on a land of its own kind. This may have been built intelligently, but if carpet literally grows out of the soil, well, maybe they had quite a base to start their civilization on. Well, I am carrying my own contained oxygen. Maybe I should check underwater? Look at all this vibrant coral. The water isn't too deep. Maybe I should have looked before I left, but it seems like everything worked out. There's actually water flowing out of the carpets, like drainage. Maybe the beings who lived here were actually just as lost as I was. Because what this is doing more than anything else is blurring the line between the natural and the artificial. It seems like the kind of thing that is not gonna break easily. I mean, hey, have you ever tried to break through solid stone using a crowbar? Hey, there's some trash we can rifle through. More coal, I can use that to make torches if need be. A bacon cheeseburger? You know what? We're winning here. It's like visiting a foreign country and finding a McDonald's. Sometimes you just want what's familiar. Well, unfortunately, I can't go to sleep on this couch, but I can take a much-needed rest. This whole thing is so cool. I forget that I'm even playing Minecraft were it not for the graphics. A working lamp and a bed. Oh, there's our respawn point. But I have a primary goal right now, and that's that floating platform. Wait, we're out of the building! We're on street level! I'm really nervous about how that whole building is being held up by that pole like a weight, waiting to fall on me. Glass bottle. There's some kind of statue with a box over its head. Like somebody didn't want it to be able to see. I see the strange furniture formations aren't limited to within the buildings. I'm starting to worry that this isn't really street level. That all of this is actually just an entire building dedicated to bathrooms. I guess they really do value that process. I don't even know what to say. That absolutely shut me down for a second. That's a human corpse covered in blood and somehow still sitting up. It doesn't look decomposed either. Rotten flesh. They say smoke cures everything. Even zombie funk. I don't want that. Hey, man. I'm just trying to make the local wildlife fond of me. I don't know, maybe this place has some kind of moral system? Something that can make me more favorable than others? Look. Yep. Where'd you go? Yep. Oh, come on, I know I can throw this flesh on the roof. Maybe not. Look, I'll leave it out for you if you want it, okay? I mean, I'll give it this. It is kind of beautiful. Alright. I still can't find where I'm going, though, so... we could take the stairs. Or, while we're feeling daring, we could try something stupid. If I place this right here... can we... oh, we can. Oh, this is dumb. Oh, this is dumb. No. There you are. Wait, do I still have the rotten flesh? No, I guess you took it. Well, that's fine, little buddy. Just stay out of trouble and please don't judge my performance here. It'll make me nervous and I'll slip. Oh, don't slip. Is this what Spider-Man feels like all the time? How does he do it? Oh my, do not do that, do not do that, do not do that. The size of my screen, that's enough to make my stomach drop. There. I really need to find some trees to cut down so I can actually fashion myself some tools. Or maybe I can find some material from the walls to use. It feels like sacrilege, but I may not have a better option. I also may not have a better option than climbing down right here. Oh, what am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? Yep, ow, ow, ow. My foot's starting to be real messed up. We have plenty of bandages. Let's apply them. With any luck, we'll be able to find some place to sleep here. We could try and reach that ladder, but it's probably more efficient to use that rooftop. There we are. A smoker. Huh. If only I still had that rotten flesh. Backrooms chest. Facing the window. I imagine somebody on the other side might have a heck of a time getting here, may even consider it their main objective. And I can see why. There's some real good stuff in here. A dead rat, and some money, and a bullet. Engineering parts, I could probably use those. A grenade? I'd take bullets if only I had a gun. Some kind of electrical system behind the wall. The fact that it actually has an access panel suggests some level of intention. But there's me going back and forth on that again. Almond water. Both sparkling and still nutty yet pure. Oddly soothing. Something about it isn't quite right. Cures infection. Well, it's pretty important to have this stuff on us at least. After all, it's not like we can just pop over to the store and get whatever we need. This is a scavenger world. I feel like a small rodent just crawling around in the dirt and the leaves. Just trying to find whatever I can. Is this wood? It is! Grayscale planks, what? I mean, I just thought they were white boards, but upon closer inspection, it's like something is actually affecting my ability to perceive color on them. I don't know what to make of that. But I do know what to make out of them. I can't use them to make a crafting bench. Or anything for that matter. Well, at the very least, we can make it up here. Thankfully, there's a convenient door and a well-lit boardroom for me to crash in for the night. Howdy, it's another one of you. Once more, I don't think it's a coincidence that Addie referred to these as wardens. They do seem to be the most common type, and they're everywhere. She actually speculated that maybe they're sentient, that maybe they have some kind of purpose here. I'm starting to think more and more that that's true. These antennas, does that mean that there's some kind of communication? I mean, we've seen TVs, computers. Somebody's got a cabin on their roof. One of the eeriest things about this has to be looking around at the mostly dark buildings stretching off to infinity. And yet, all dotted throughout this are places with a light on. I visited a few of them. I know it's no indication that anyone's there. Yet I can't help but be drawn to them. We're very close to something here, I think. And in the absence of any other use, we're gonna have to use these planks as stairs. Oh. I don't want to put them to waste. There must be a better way to do this. I don't know if there is. A globe? Well, it's a square globe, and those continents aren't anything I recognize, but hey, it's got poles. So maybe this works something like our world? Looking above this table, it's just a tower of glass. How does a place come to be like this? It's like physics don't even act on anything here, and we still have not reached that platform. The clouds can give a false impression that we're a lot lower than we are. How did you get up here, buddy? Alright, look. There you go. You'll probably like that better than I will. Yep. This place seems to belong to fish down below and raccoons up above. The natural order of things, I'm sure you'll agree. Pillars of water descending into the fog. Now I have to wonder, where does it come from? Does any of the infrastructure actually lead to anything here? Or is it just like everything else we've seen? What needs to be will be. Cramped laboratories. More meeting rooms. It does seem like things travel together. Q4 budget. Hey, you. Project Nod. Sales up. Outing prices down. Investors love concept. A tracking. They're using computers, calculators, and simple maps and compasses. Okay, new theory. Maybe my company didn't find a way to reach the city of Nod, not through some transdimensional travel. Maybe something they did actually created this universe. And it was made in their image. May have actually caused this place to generate in the form that it took. What is that? Hang on, wait. We need the scraper for this. I guess not. There's a pool here. Yeah, well, wet floor is right. Oh, it's a... My God. If I hadn't heard you... Look at that! Your eyes actually glow in the dark. Wait, if I put this away... Will they still glow? They will. Ah, you guys are starting to prove the biggest fear and comfort around here. I think you've got a little bit of a pipe leak. Also a little bit of a spatial leak. Not only is this whole area completely flooded, trying to ascend just brings us into blinding clouds, even worse than the darkness. Go through. There's got to be some way out on the other side of this. Look. Look. What did I just get? Was it just more moss? Oh no, the flow is actually bringing me downward. Oh, it's a trash bag. I'm just discarding trash for more trash. This is really annoying me now. Wait, through the water, I can see a door. I come out, it's all boarded. Come on, you can't tell me that a crowbar isn't the tool for this. Okay, you're out. Let me in. So what's in here that was so important? Oh my god! You've got a plaque in front of you, but I can't seem to read it. Still, the various warning signs around here seem to clearly indicate this isn't a place to mess with. Ah! Why did that happen? What hurt me? Wait, was it... What is this? Is that broken glass? There are hazards we need to watch out for. Mike. A bisected creeper. I never knew these things had bones. I also didn't know they had literal TNT inside them. Well, I guess it's an ancient beast that they'd managed to eradicate in this world. Unless there could be something hiding in here. It's a museum. It's like a museum of slain creatures. And yet I haven't seen a single one of them yet. I came here as a scientist, but it's kind of becoming more of a roleplay exploration part 2. Oh, I'm getting so turned around. How does that happen in the back rooms? Yeah, I've made it straight from one side to the other, and I still have not seen a single actual street. And at this rate, I don't think I'm going to. I'm just happy to be in shelter. Ooh, what is this stuff? We're growing plants in a rooftop garden. Spice leaf. Well, alright. What about what's actually in here? I can't plant it again. It's just another type of dirt. I would need some kind of silk touch to remove this. And I would need some kind of wings to make that. Look what's happened. Like, half door, half glass. I've seen plain text, but I've never seen this. I don't know if the signs are moving or if something about it just won't allow my brain to interpret what's written. I can certainly see the desirability in being able to travel here. I mean, with all this construction already built, with it already so much to our liking, with some caveats, maybe some construction needed, I mean, you could very easily solve the housing crisis. Just gotta be willing to move to another dimension. A lot of people would be. You know what? Let's see if we can use moss on the crafting bench. Well, we can make a moss block. Other than that, I'm not really sure. You know, we can check our crafting recipe book. It's got quite a bit more than usual. So let's try this. Salted moss clump is made from moss and salt. You know, that makes sense, and look. We can use all kinds of things to actually enhance the moss. Moss paste, using a mixing bowl. Alright, but what does it do? Some of these things seem to actually cure infection. Although, infection of what? I'm not sure. We can make moss cloth, which is edible. Even enchant the stuff. Buttery dried salted moss clump. horrifying amalgamation of salt, moss, and butter. It's delicious. And we can make it from any number of materials. Some of it is fine, some of it is horrifying. 6 days survived. Feels like only a second ago day 5 rolled by. Lit candles underwater. And the trail leads the way out. Then what's in the center? Here's the central staircase. But it's about here that I should probably talk about one of the biggest mechanics that exists in this mod pack. One that I went into a lot in the last video, but if you haven't seen that, basically every block in this game will degrade over time. And so while we're met at first with an empty but still nonetheless pristine city, over time it will start to decay. It'll start to crack and fall apart and collapse in on itself until eventually we're wandering around in overgrown ruins. All this happens dynamically, so I've never done it, but just imagine what would happen over a period of like 100 days rather than just 5. This is where it starts. Rip all that moss off the walls. I want it. We need it. I can never tell the difference between a statue and a person who's been turned to stone in a place like this. Hey bud, you want this? Oh wow, look at that! You're actually like, yeah, give it to me, give it to me! There you go. That is adorable. And you're washing your little hands. You guys are so cute. The creatures that are added in this are so cool, and I like how from what little we've observed, we can actually start to see how their ecosystem works. I mean, we saw those cod sort of slamming into each other, teleporting and falling back in. We saw those proboscis ones flying and diving down to scoop them up like pelicans. Actually, wait. We were given a book. We were given a book of the local wildlife. I believe there's quite a lot that can be here. But maybe we can identify some of these things? Wow, they really leap off the page. You're saying all of this is just out there? Cosmic cod are fish that can be found in the void between end islands, including the main island of the End. Unlike any other fish known, cosmic cod are hydrophobic and damaged by water. Them being up here isn't an aberration, it's actually how they operate. Instead, they float through the ether of the End in decently sized schools. If one fish in the school is attacked, the entire school of fish will attempt to teleport away as soon as possible. That's why they teleported into the air. It was simply because they were attacked by one of the other creatures. These fish are the frequent prey of cosmos, and can be used to tame them. Cosmic cod can also be caught in an empty bucket. Interesting. Maybe we should start collecting them. Cosma are neutral, enigmatic creatures found rarely wandering the outer islands of the End. These creatures have evaded classification, as they embody traits expected of fish, arthropods, mollusks, and more. Nevertheless, what is known about Cosma is their favorite meal, cosmic cod. This strange fish can be found swimming in schools under end islands, or obtained by placing a cod inside an Enteriophage's capsid. Although most would find the taste of this fish toxic, Cosmos seem to seek it out, and can be tamed with multiple feedings. Unlike many other tameable beasts, Cosma will not defend their owners in combat, completely content to sit out most battles. Yet this creature does care for its master, for if its owner falls off the edge of an end island, the Cosma will come to the rescue. It can pick up its falling owner with its large claw mouth, and return them back to land safely. This makes a Cosma a must-have follower for most end explorers. Cosma can also be bred with cosmic cod, once tamed and healed with chorus fruit. Oh, I'm sorry, are you still waiting for more food? I don't know how much I have. Here, take some potato chips. You'll love that, right? Reading, it really lets the time get away from you. This is so cool. Like, this combination of mods, these things all add so much depth on their own, but when you put them together like this, it really is a whole new experience. I'll be honest, this looks like just my kind of workspace. Having your own nice enclosed little cubicle here, this, surprisingly blood-stained looking TV, or maybe the outer case is just rusting, it is actually on. I wonder if it actually displayed channels at one point, if this is just how it appears and is the only thing it can show. But also having your buddy just right here through the window. It's that kind of separate but together work environment that I enjoy. Toilets and boardrooms, toilets and boardrooms. That's all I ever find, and now they've converged. What's worse is that some of these appear to be recently used. There's so much evidence of recent habitation. But if they sent me here, they clearly would have told me if there had been something that they found, right? We actually know that time doesn't behave correctly here, that it only progresses when observed. So maybe in the absence of everyone, this whole thing just falls into stasis. What from our perspective might have been a year, 10,000 years infinity, would actually just be completely stagnant until the moment I arrived and set eyes on it. I don't know why that thought gives me such a feeling of vertigo. Like me being here is completely contributing to the collapse. I don't know if I trust this. In fact, it will What? Advancement made. The survivor! Am I falling? I think I'm falling. What's happening? Oh, I'm falling. In fact, I'm currently at... What is this? 95? Wait. I'm about to die. Suffocated in a wall. What happened? Well, I'm never getting that stuff back. This mod doesn't just have classes for when you spawn in. It also has classes for when you respawn. We can choose our starting gear, and... I'm thinking what we're probably going to do is take either the librarian gear or the reclaimer kit. And I'm kind of curious to know what the reclaimer kit entails. A crude wooden shield and a shotgun to go with it. We've got torches in our offhand. I think that's all we need. We've also got some crimson planks, and here's our respawn. I just don't understand what happened to us there. Was it all a dream? Well, my stuff is gone. Are we experiencing some kind of quantum immortality? But look, we can build with this stuff. This is the very start of how we get out of this hole. Days survived 7. Well, not really, game, not really. And now I'm just not sure what to do with myself. This may not have been the best spawn for this. Or maybe it was the best, considering how dense all this is, and we can get such a variety of exploration done. But I haven't been able to learn much firsthand. Oh my god! What was that? It's making some kind of noise. I could literally see the bedroom I came from over there, but I need to take an indirect way back. There's one in that corner. No, no, no. No, oh my god! Wardco Solutions, not what I need right now. I just made the advancement stay dead. It just crumbled in front of me. I don't have a whole lot of ammo. Least of all, after I got your attention. No! You can reform yourself! What do you drop? Just regular bones. Okay, that's it. What I have in this shotgun is all that's left. What are those things? By the way, that one seemed to come straight toward me, like it was attracted by the noise. And this is during daylight, but it's so dark in all of these things. So not only are we so trapped in here, but those things are basically in a hive. Great. Oh, I just love the geometry now that I'm trapped in here with things. Can they open doors? That's the next question. I was blessed to wake up with a shotgun in my hands, but maybe I'm cursed. Look, I can aim down the sights. Cursed with having to deal with this nightmare until I inevitably run out of ammo. Which is already... Well, I can place a torch in there. At least I can pick them up when I put them down. Okay, here's not where I came from, but something quite like it. Alright, let's see. Can we make ourselves a pickaxe? Okay. From there, we can make ourselves one of these. Hey, it's damage. Damage is damage. And we're gonna need more of it. Alright, we can actually starve now. Now, that meter right there, I hadn't seen that progress before. The little ghost icon with the blue bar. Is that some sort of XP? Where are these things? I know they're around here. Oh, but now's our chance. We can use this pickaxe to see what this stuff is. That's probably just terracotta. This, taking samples, that's what we need. Pool tiles. And you? Oh, look. There's slabs. There's open space beneath. Blue pool slabs. You know, I was born to be a scientist, but with this innate ability to know what these things are, receive a label just from holding them in my hands. Curse this colorless wood that doesn't allow me to build anything with it. But that tree may be just what I need. I would love to know what the actual... Wait. Wait. I'm jumping the gun here. Let's make some planks out of this. Make ourselves a crafting bench that we can carry with us. And use our only iron to make some shears. These are just regular oak leaves. But much like the kudzu, it's coming in purple, magenta rather than green. Is there something about the air, maybe even about the sunlight, that's different? Everything I learn just leads to so much more speculation. But it seems like those creatures are few and far between. You know what? That works just fine for me. Are those lower floors flooded? They go down pretty deep if we're at ground level. They're not flooded. They're not. But we at least spawn with the same things. We don't get a choice the other time around. Great, so now we're in a Groundhog Day loop. Wait, what are you wearing? Step into the light, please. I need to examine you. Some sort of welder's mask? You had black dye? And yes, a welding mask. Oh, look at that! There's like an extended inventory. We can equip all kinds of things on our person. Kind of like artifact slots in Stalker. It's another scientist. Sorry to do this. Unfortunately, we can't get your gear. Money. A wallet full of cash is now basically coal. And in your case, we got your advanced bullets, but we did not get your gun. This is really cool. Now, I opted to play without enemies because I didn't really have a way of defending myself last time I played. But now that I do... The enemies are here, they're present, there's something I'm always thinking about. But they're not a constant threat. I'm not constantly awash in them like I am in the base game. In other words, they serve exactly the purpose they should. Not to mention, they're absolutely terrifying when they do show up. I have to make hard choices. Do not follow me around. Thank you for getting my attention. No. Can you open doors? You will burn in the daylight. And there's another one through there. Right out here. Come on, let's kite you. Just what we need. Meanwhile, this guy's spectating, and when you burn, you don't come back. Source of evil. Corruption. What does one do with that? Okay, we need to find our way back to a crafting bench right now. Oh! Look at you, a junior researcher! I guess it was bring your kid to work day, and the sun is going down, so we may have to expend some ammo. Stay out of the way, raccoon! No time for whimsical adventures. You just were not going down. I have 1 shell left to my name. And 3 bullets for a gun I don't have. Oh well, I can always die and get some more. So there's that. We can also use this, I assume. It takes iron nuggets and gunpowder. We found things we can use. We also need moss. Unfortunately, we don't have a scraper on this character. How am I supposed to get all this stuff? There's just been no opportunity to craft. You didn't come through the door, you actually tunneled your way out of the building. One of the features of this mod is clever zombies. They can use tools, they can even use fire and TNT. I'm not kidding. Very beautiful sight when all those few sporadic lights are reflected in the ocean. It simultaneously makes me feel like there's a world of possibility and like I'm totally alone forever. Why does it look so familiar? Why indeed, I'm very curious to see how this world holds together. Because we have jumped forward an absolutely long way. Due to circumstances, I have been unable to record this for a long time, but we are back now. And things may be quite different. I have a new goal, though. I have a brand new goal. Dude, look at this. I just love the way it's framed up in that narrow gap in the walls against the starlit skies, and I don't know what all has changed in this mod pack, probably a lot, but that Starry Night Sky seems even starrier and more pretty. Look at you guys, your reflections streaking across the water. You kind of look like shooting stars. But anyways, I've spoken a little bit more with Untrusted Life in the meantime, and it's starting to seem like my best bet is going to be to find another of those beds. Yes, the one that dropped me into a wall and killed me, but if we can figure out where it's going, that'd be a huge discovery, wouldn't it? Oh god. One shot's all it takes. The more injured your arms, the slower you mine. With this, you can bandage them. Wow, this conversion really does add quite a lot. Problem, we are now out of shotgun shells, so I think this character is probably not long for this earth. I hear walking that isn't me. Look at me sleeping with my shotgun clutched across my chest like an old farmer. Look at this. With only raw builder flesh and plastic, we too can make a corpse in a body bag. That's a craftable item. Oh, we can wrap them in all kinds of things. Welcome to the Hall Scraper. Not expecting service anytime soon, but it hopes to try. Hall Scraper. Maybe this wet environment in the dark is meant to help grow the moss. You guys are a jump scare every time I encounter you, you know that? Oh wow, our hunger reduced rapidly. Like, really rapidly. I don't know how I'm gonna find another one of these beds. I don't remember where the other one was! Well, that's a pickle. Oh my god! Oh my god! A whole bunch of you just cut through the wall and killed me! Well, there we go. Jeez, them being able to do that is insane. Presumably they'll mainly do it if there's no other way to go. The one from before probably broke these stairs. We have a lot more to worry about than just the standard destruction over time. In this maze, we'll have to keep away from them. You're me! I mean, okay, yeah, there's no surviving this. You even just picking stuff up as you go? Wow, you have a lot of health. Information. There are few things so creepy in a liminal environment as coming upon something that is totally deserted and yet seems to be waiting for you. What if we... There's not enough room to jump behind. Merryfield Memories #2. The adults were scared of the sick people at first. Then they got scared of the doors and the laughing. They said, if you hear laughing, don't look for it. I seen the sheep in the hallway. It looked at me. I shouldn't have followed the sheep. Lacking context and through a child's eyes, we get our first glimpse at what may have happened here. Some kind of paranormal collapse, or at least something like it. That is actually really, really creepy. And as for this stuff, well, it's really tough, that's for sure. Redstone. It's actually redstone blocks, meaning we can power things with this. whatever this is, we can't collect it directly, at least not with these tools. Starry Night. And this one I also recognize. Let's see what's beyond. Look at that. A purple haze filtering through these buildings. Ah, we can get iron by breaking down devices like that. You know, we should take that as a clue, what happens when we break open the crafting bench. Things don't come back the way we expect. We can salvage raw materials. Some of the situations this puts you in are truly foreign. You definitely don't feel like you're playing Minecraft when you're playing this. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Alright, well, if I'm going down, I'm taking you with me. It was surprisingly easy to take you with me. And to remain alive myself, for that matter. We just need to bandage ourselves up a bit. What in the holy heck was that thing? There we go. I can hear more things out there. I wonder if it was attracted by the sound of me breaking this. Does this work better? Look at that. Wait, can we... It'll probably be easier to see if I put away the torch. Little islands of light from bioluminescent plants that reach the surface. It's like we've got our own stars right down here. We got some more corruption from that monster. There must be some use for it, right? Welcome to the Hall Scraper. All hallways, all the time. Now, I have heard the developer reference these buildings by a type of name. I'd figured that was just something internal, but I guess in the current updates, maybe we can actually learn those names for ourselves. I definitely appreciate the proper signage. I think the idea of backrooms is one of the coolest images and most varied images that we see in this build. Oh my god! Yeah, it's what you get! Oh my god. Oh my god! Well, we're dead. I can't see anything. I don't know if I have enough to stop the bleeding. Splint. I can do that as well. Wow, there's a lot going on here in terms of the healing. Raw rat, just randomly attacked by rats, and we're infected. So once more, I think that's about it for all us. It is so hard to get anywhere when there's monsters around. The laughter. It's the eyes in the darkness. I should have known, and you know what's even creepier? You know what makes it so much worse? We've seen reference to the eyes all this time. This is the first we've seen them. We need to restore some of our hunger, but look at this place. Cracked and decaying glass, lights blinking in malfunction. It's like a library where there's books everywhere, and yet they're so hard to actually access. This is a really cool room. Can we get upstairs at all? No. You know what? The flooded lower halls may be safer. I'm not sure if those mobs will actually spawn down here. I'm having a tremendously difficult time actually keeping around, though. Hey, there's a coat on a rack. Doesn't seem like I can take it, though. Can I? Orange bathrobe. Oh, come on, you're not gonna let me put that on? I mean, sure, it would get all wet and soggy now. But what if I were to find someplace comfy? Something that's kind of weird is that in order to get the moss scraper and build it, you have to already have moss in your inventory. So explain that one. What is this? I mean, I'm always trying and failing to make progress in this mod pack, but it all always comes back to the same place, just exploring and marveling at the architecture. I may not need to deal with you. Oh, look at this, we've got pipes we can jump between, crawling into the walls. And you are? Brown rain gutters. I need to see if I can get some of these mods for the creative world. I don't even remember if the creative world existed when I started recording this. That's how long it's been. If anything, I'm thinking of setting sail. Maybe after all this, that's what I really need. Oh my god. Well, that was a creepy encounter, if I ever had one. Let's get ourselves out of this basement. I don't care what it takes. We need... Oh god, do we have enough? I don't think we have enough wood for this. Eyes disappear laughing, something fell. Those are both very concerning subtitles to have. Do you know that? What the? I mean, that doesn't look good for me, but... No, it's certainly not good for me. In fact, it's poison, and it's making me blind. But we can eat books. We can just straight up snarf down a book. Oh my god! This puts an end to the bane of my existence. No longer can people say I call myself the librarian, yet I've never eaten a book. Well, I'm not gonna lie to you. We're in rough shape. That's just kind of the state of affairs right now. Yep, the trash rooms. Another aspect of liminality oft overlooked. And there we go. We apparently starved to death because the hunger system in this is annihilated. Because of the red, I thought it was hanging human skin. Turns out it's actually just somebody's laundry. A vanishing door. Used to conceal more laundry. Oh, wow. And there's even a creepy mirror in the back. It just goes further and further. Might I just say, I'm amazed at how many hours I've spent exploring these worlds, and it's just constantly giving me new things. There's something there. There's something there. You didn't even react to that. Is there water down there? I can't tell. I'm trying to plan out my escape route. You know, jumping out into the sun. We don't get any wood from this. You're also bookcases, even though you're embedded in the ground. I can see your teeth suspended in the shadows. Okay, actually, we can get a lot of wood from this. I know I just saw something right there. Menu. My worry is that that's gonna ring the dinner bell. Let's get what we can while we can. Alright, that's enough. I have the wood that I needed to make tools. But let's have a look at this art gallery for a little bit. American Gothic. The Scream. And there's caskets, coffins off to the sides. It's like a funeral home at the same time. So, I mean, I've completely overlooked this. We know this now. We know that it wasn't always like this, that this place fell. That something that was otherworldly even to them came in and made this happen. In fact, to hear the way they write, I don't know, for some reason I'm so much more creeped out by this place now that I feel some connection to the people who came before. You trying to keep this from me? Seal this off? Hey, look, we've just gotten our first cobblestone. Oh, we can get stone from here. Ah, we can upgrade our tools now. Not to mention, find parallel laundry and parallel creatures. That's right. All the laundry you can trash, little trash panda. How do we get out of here? That's the next question. Ah, we've opened the doors to moss. Unfortunately, we don't get to keep it when we open this up. Wow. I thought we were in a basement. Turns out, nope. Oh. Cowabunga! Don't have to look where you leap in Minecraft. The sun is setting. Let's set sail. I think our best bet, after we spent so much time locked into these halls, is to just see where we can get. Worst case, we'll just end up all the way back here. Off we go. It's like a wide open Venice. The plant life underwater will guide the way. But even on the water, we're not safe from everything. What was that? It looked like a pair of eyes breached the okay, there you are. After what we just heard, I was a little bit on edge, but this is really, really neat, this apocalypse, now that we've read a little bit about it, because it seems like it's both supernatural and almost like a zombie apocalypse in nature. And I imagine the zombies take after the paranormal, just two different ways for this to present. As for whether the creatures were always like this, who knows? We got things as... You're still pursuing me. There you are. Oh my... Ow! Oh my god! Okay, note to self, spotting you doesn't actually seem to work when we're in a boat. Or on the water, or whichever it is. And you're already hunting me down again. What I saw earlier may not have been that creature. Just keep moving then. That's our only hope. What's causing you to leave? You're haunting me more than ever, and I don't understand why. Maybe it's just the distance we're getting. God, of all the threats in this world, the next one is that we're doomed to never stop rowing. This feels like an old sailor's ghost story. Passing by a distant coast and thinking they see a pair of glowing eyes jump into the water. And then they hear the sounds of a child's laughter pursuing them for the rest of their voyage. Hey, bud. So they can end up even over there. They can swim, too. Presumably I could take some shots at you, but cleaning up this world isn't my responsibility. It's only my job to understand it. Not even death can get me out of here, but maybe those beds can? It's also, part of the reason I'm doing this is because we're generating new world, and, well, since so many things have been updated, that'll probably be helpful. Whoa! Whoa! What just happened? My boat sank. I can't find it either. Weird things just will not stop happening. There's something up with the water in this area. Alright, well, now we have to get to land. We don't have a choice. I can't land ho, dragging myself to shore. Is there gonna be a real entrance, or am I gonna have to break in? Okay, this place calls for a shotgun. It's so dark. Everything wants to kill me here. Just everything. Alright, if we're going to die, let's make sure that our bed is at least in this new area, right? Thank you. These light rays are always the prettiest part of a new day. And I could definitely stand to have some of the coffee from this pot, but probably best not to indulge. I don't know what idea is worse. The idea that all this did happen a long time ago and things only decay as they're observed? Or that none of this happened long ago at all? That I'm arriving in the immediate aftermath of everyone disappearing? Seems like around here there's a lot of ways to disappear. Well, that's an issue. Close that behind us. Well, we've got an exit if we need it. You can't say this game doesn't provide you with dramatic moments. This is a pretty cool area, too. Ooh, hey. A Daytime Television Award. It's an Oscar, actually. Huh. The warden is somebody famous around here. No wonder his image pops up everywhere. Okay, we're not going that way either. Look at all this. Smoke signals from floating structures. You've literally got a golden bathroom. Nope! Oh, come on. I don't really have a way to heal now. Die forever. And die forever. Nope, you're gonna do the thing where you get back up. Okay, I'll wait. Anyway, die forever. There's a chance he won't fall. Nurse leggings. Well, it's something. It's not something right now, but it is something. All the way up here, the clouds form a sea level of their own. This game is just wild to look at times. Honestly, if you like exploring in Minecraft, I cannot think of a better way to do that and be so consistently entertained than with this. Oh, hey. Another fog floor. Oh, now is not the time for this. Has it seen me? I really doubt Minecraft's AI was ever designed to not be able to see things in the fog. And I can't imagine it's something that ever came up. Okay, we're out. I see you. You see me, but so long as there's glass between us. That's alright. Okay, nope, screw this. Screw this! Oh, come on, please, please, please. Yes! And that's how you save a shotgun shell. Let's make ourselves another boat. And be on our merry way. And hope we don't encounter any more strange water out here. I've been sailing for a long while, and I just cannot seem to find anything other than these floating isles. These biomes are huge, that's for sure. Not very easy to do all this from a boat, but we can try it. Nothing much here. Actually, if we were to try and take this barrel with us, we can use that to store our items. A safe in case we die. Hey. I just came into a cosmic cod. Would you like it? I take it that's a yes. You're welcome. Probably takes more than that to tame you. Yeah, that's right. My frames are absolutely tanking, generating all this world. Look at that. I can even see them watching me from the seawalls. I don't know why you've only decided to show up now, but you certainly make things creepier. Oh, that seems like an inviting place to stop and rest. I'm sure nothing can go wrong attempting that. Oh, my frames are really not liking this. An ocean view bath. Honestly, this seems really incredibly relaxing. I'll set up camp here if you don't mind. I could sleep in the bathtub, but that seems like a bad idea. Okay, we're gonna use this as our storage. We're gonna place our Oscar right here. Hey. Hey, hey. You're gonna try to break through to me. Yep, nope, I need to do this now. What were you wearing? Okay, well, we're all set up so that we don't necessarily have to stay alive for all that long. We've got our respawn point, just making sure. I have noticed that that does a number on our hunger, though. What I want to try next is to see what happens if we really do just start digging down. Okay, so that sucks. Are they gonna try to break this down? The sunlight should take them. What about you, rat? Subtitles call them ghouls. Are they an evolution on some of the creatures we saw before? They survived 11. Well, I suppose by a certain definition of survived. They drop nothing but their flesh. Alright, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start tunneling downward. We also pretty quickly reach a basement level. Nope, actually still very much above ground. So why don't we start from as far down as this goes. Stop that, please. Start taking it deeper. Huh, we hit water. It's actually easier to mine into these stone bricks than it is into the carpet, which, you know, sort of makes sense when you think about it. But even still, we've managed to get decently deep without running into water. Iron, our very first iron. This wall on the foundation of the building just keeps going down and down. And we're finding moss here, which is also strange. Remember, this too will decay. Our best bet is to kind of do a bounding over. Make it a staircase where we prioritize moving along the wall. Oh my god, are you kidding? Well, we're dead. We had no ammo left. You tunneled all the way down from up here. How did you even know where I was? Remember, we're going to find both us and our killer down here. Oh, what? Now I'm not fragile? Let's remove this. Get a clear shot. Thank you very much. Z-Liminex. Raccoons are interdimensional beings. Tattered page belongs to book The Merrifield Classifieds, page 19 out of 25. That's the best place to start. Our office lights are on. If you can see them, you're welcome to visit. They're always on. That's an ad? Hey, cooked rat. Neat. Saved by Moss by Joe. The day it all fell apart, I was just an ordinary guy. No idea what was coming. I was out in the woods when it happened. The first screams, the chaos. I ran. I ran faster than I ever had before. But they were everywhere. The zombies. I could hear them getting closer, their moans echoing through the trees. Then I tripped, fell into a ravine. I thought it was the end. But the ground was soft, covered in moss. The moss cushioned my fall. It covered me, hid me from sight. The zombies passed by, never seeing me. I laid there, trembling but alive, thanks to the moss. It saved me that day, and I never forgot. I didn't know it yet, But that was the start of something new. Something deep inside me. The moss kept me safe. It was soft, warm, alive. I think it loved me as much as I loved it. The day I escaped the zombies, but I found something better. I found moss, and it saved my life. I'm Mossy Joe now. Well, I guess we got some additional context on that absolute horror story we read earlier. Maggoty bread. Oh, I was hoping it was moss. Hero Brian's notebook. Hero Brian, nice. Intro. Kept a notebook. Didn't plan to, but then things got strange. Maybe you'll make sense of it. New stuff. People kept saying things were fine, but new doors kept showing up where they weren't before. Chorus brick ads were everywhere. They never stopped. Weird days. Grocery stopped. Streets were empty. Curfew, then silence. Saw a lot of new faces. Everyone told me they heard moaning at night. Government acted like nothing was wrong. That is so cool. It's like a ghost story, a haunting story, but happening collectively to everyone all at once. Missing. Heard about people vanishing. Mostly kids, sometimes adults. Sometimes you would hear laughter in empty rooms. I stopped checking for the source. Everyone always blamed someone else for it. Company lines. Red Black said they didn't post those ads. Wardco's doors were always open, but nobody was home. Everyone kept building. Why? Will even built a new pizzeria. Are you saying that the people here actually did build these things, that there are some anomalous structures, but for the most part there was just like some kind of hysteria where people all had Winchester syndrome? Signs. I saw a lot of signs. Some said, "Don't open the new doors." One warned about a pink sheet. Somebody kept tearing them down. Eventually, everyone just called them void places. I cannot escape the pink-black influence anywhere I go, truly. Notes. Time got weird. Some days felt like they never happened. Some alleys changed directions. How does that even happen? I'd write more, but my notes keep going missing too. That explains why we find them so far apart. And everyone blamed everyone else, but no one took responsibility. Now everyone is gone. So writes Hero Brian. Merrifield Chronicles 17 of 20. Oh, we are finding so much lore. Okay, but we'll do that next, right after Research Notes RC. Colleagues here before us? Breakthrough. Golden apples quell the infection for a while. However, it is no true cure. One can be immediately reinfected. Attempts to make test subjects completely immune yielded minimal success, until we introduced redstone. Redstone pulses seem to disrupt the fungus's soul siphon mechanism. We suspect a combined therapy. A golden apple infused with redstone dust may grant a permanent cure. More tests are needed, and here's how we learn. Here's how the inquisitive person will find a way to survive here. I am starting to have so much more of an appreciation for this. Hamburger? Late fall. Notices suddenly appear on every door. They say, if you see the pink sheet, do not follow. Some pages are torn. Others just fade away. That is unbelievably creepy. Mass reports about a pink sheep you shouldn't follow. How do we know that you shouldn't follow it? Presumably somebody saw where it led. But it seems like most never come back at all. You're a revenant, and you're not dead. Not really. As we learned earlier, we have to wait for you to reconstruct entirely before we fire another shot, otherwise it's just wasted. I am so glad I pushed on with this, because not only is the world more interesting than ever in this update, but the world building, the lore, the story of how this all came to end. We haven't heard nearly enough apocalyptic ghost stories, is what I'm learning from this. And the sheer scope of how this presents, well, it introduces a lot of mysteries for how all this comes to be as well. You're not staying dead. Really use more shotgun. Hey, we found an attic. Dusty old attic like in any grandpa's home, just on top of a skyscraper. Maybe grandpa's got secrets? He certainly does. Moss is love, moss is life. I didn't know it was Mossy Joe. Copper sword we could take. Greetings, fellow moss enthusiasts, or should I say soon-to-be moss lovers. Let me tell you something that will change your life forever. Moss. Yes, moss. The soft, green, luscious wonder of the world. I can't get enough of it. The allure of moss. Moss is everywhere, and it's everything you need. You can dry it, mash it, stick it in a stew. I've even used it as bedding. It's so soft, so comforting. Oh, how I love to bury my face in it. Moss for eating. Hungry? Why wait? Moss is edible. You can dry it out, sprinkle some salt, and even add a pat of butter. I've eaten it raw, fresh from the ground. It's divine, so pure. Sometimes I just nibble on it for hours. Moss farming. Want to grow more moss? It's simple. Find a room, cover it with rock, and fill it with water. Moss loves water. Oh, it loves it so much it can't get enough. Watch it spread, watch it grow. Oh, the joy of it all. Moss for living. You think I'm crazy? Just try finding some. It's on trees, rocks, walls. Oh, it's everywhere. I once covered my entire bed in moss. It was like sleeping in heaven. And when I woke up, I ate some for breakfast. Moss tools and armor. But why stop there? Make moss your ally in every way. Craft a moss sword. Feel its soft embrace as you strike. Wrap yourself in moss armor. Become one with the moss. Moss isn't just for comfort. It's for protection. It's for the moss life. Moss on your walls, moss on your floors. Let it take over you. Why would you want anything else? Moss is alive. It's growing. And it wants to fill you. Let it consume you. The ultimate truth. Moss is not just a plant. It's a way of life. It's love. It's everything. Breathe it in. Let it fill your lungs. Who needs air anyway? If you're not living the moss life, you're not really living. Join me. Join the moss. Join us. Final word. So go out. Find some moss. And let it take you. Let it wrap around you. Let it become you. Moss is love, moss is life, and it wants you. The thing about the dialogue in this game, there's sense in the insanity. You learned how to draw a skull with chalk, and we got the achievement Bound by Bone. Well, there's a roof exit here. MRE Meal 28, Phantom Membrane Pork Wrap. A mystical wrap crafted with tender pork and ethereal phantom membranes. Well, I don't know whether I should trust it, but it's definitely good eating. Am I really surprised that there's so much moss up here? The chair in the dark. By I tell you. Well, in the absence of anything else to do, let's sit on the roof and read a ghost story then. Date unknown. I found that same row home. I've seen it twice now, just like the warehouse. But this time, there was a chair in the middle of a room. The place was dark, abandoned for years, but the chair, it felt like it was waiting for someone. And the light above it, flickering for some reason. The power's been out for years, but somehow this light was still on. Barely. Flickering. So there's our conversation. All this did happen a long time ago. How? Who turned it on? It's like something's watching, begging me to sit down. I didn't. I couldn't. I didn't do it, but I can't stop thinking about it. The chair, that light, it's wrong. Like the warehouse in the cities. Did the zombies cause this too? The more I've learned, the more I think the zombies are just a symptom. I'm not going back there alone, but that chair, it's burned into my mind. What if someone else finds it? What if they sit down? That is super creepy. Just coming across this strange feature that sets off every warning bell in your head. And yet, it's like you can't even explain why it sets you so on edge. You have no idea what it does, but you just can't shake the feeling that it does something, and that something horrible will happen even if someone else finds it. What I think I love the most about this story is that it's scary in such unspecific ways. Just like the Backrooms. That rat just survived a shotgun blast, but more to the point, that's a ramp! Ramps in Minecraft. This world really is cursed. I guess we saw something like it in one of the bathrooms, but... Okay, nope. Leave me alone! I'm out of ammo. I'm really screwed now. Tell you what, how about do we still have a splint? We do. We're still really messed up, but that splint does heal us over time. Hey, we can take another Oscar. Actually, I wonder if it's the same building. I didn't even realize it, but we have found land. But still, no streets between. Ooh, look at this. I can't believe this is wrapped up in the bones, thank you for coming, of a modern skyscraper. I'm almost relieved to see a regular skeleton out here. Part of me wants to start carrying a shield now. Problem, we wouldn't be able to carry a torch then. Nightmares, that's what the subtitles call you. Okay, so we're gonna go not that way. Actually, we'll go really anywhere but. This water, it makes sense why people would have poured it everywhere. They want to grow the moss. That moss which in this world has so many uses. Well, that sword just broke immediately. So now I'm truly defenseless. Hey, what's that? W3 for R3. Oh, we are completely effed. It's all their fault. What do you mean? Remember the 5. Wish I knew what that meant. R plus 3000. I've never been on that subreddit. If only I had a button. Is that a duck drawn in chalk? We're gonna have to break through. Thank you for the window panes. This place is definitely a gold mine as far as new structures to explore, but more importantly, we're learning so much. Nope. We can't fight you. We have no means with which to fight you. Welcome to Merryfield Nursery. This was a childcare facility. Oh. Well, I obviously have to keep exploring this. This is going to be such a long video, but it's so worth it. Anything in your cabinets? Midnight Diamond Mystery. There's something upstairs. Actually, the subtitles kind of spoil it, but never mind that. Look at you. You're just gonna stare if you know you can't get me, huh? Date unknown. Have you ever noticed what happens if you smash an enchanting table or a brewing stand at the stroke of midnight? I'm telling you, it's not just coincidence. There's something seriously wrong with this. I've tried it. I sometimes find diamonds hidden inside. Why would there be diamonds in an enchanting table, in a brewing stand? Who put them there? And more importantly, why? It's like they're paying off anyone who knows their secrets. What are they trying to hide? Some kind of dark magic? Some kind of forbidden knowledge? We are talking about an enchanting table, you understand. You don't just stash diamonds in furniture for no reason. And it's always at midnight. Only at midnight. Why midnight? What's so special about that? I bet it's got something to do with the moon. The way it influences the souls. But here's the thing. It doesn't work every time. Sometimes you'll just get blaze rods. Sometimes a puff of smoke. But if you're lucky, if the stars align just right, that's when the diamonds come. It's like the hosts themselves are rewarding you for finding the truth. But what truth? What are they really trying to tell us? I'm telling you, there's more to this than meets the eye. Something's behind it. Someone or something doesn't want us to know the real story behind those diamonds. It's all connected somehow. Maybe it's the vassals, maybe it's the rebels, maybe the Endermen are in on it too. But one thing's for sure, they don't want us to know. So smash those tables and stands. Show them, whoever they are, who's boss. I get the impression that you're wrong generally, but correct in broad strokes. We've just locked ourselves in a closet with no way of getting out. So do you like Magic the Gathering? Could make a run for the opposite door while you're not looking. What I really want is to get upstairs. Oh, you came upstairs. All right, well. Oh my god. There's two. Anything can be explained by more than one. Well, we're dead. Our base is here, but you know what I'm starting to think? It may be worthwhile to lean into meta progression. This mod is near impossible to survive in for any length of time, and I won't deny it's beating me down like crazy. But I'm a scientist. I use reason and logic. I observe the world around me to come up with solutions to make things easier and better for people. And I'm also a YouTuber, and it's my life's goal to come up with different ways to incorporate meta gaming elements into a story. And I've acknowledged the Groundhog Day loop. So you know what that means. The answer is right in front of us for long-term survival. First of all, we need to find high places and/or enemies. So this looks like a high place. High as in physically raised, and high society as well. Zombie toilet horse. Ow! Zombie toilet horse is not friendly, but mainly does not want to be disturbed. If the zombie toilet horse is respected, you will receive respect in kind. That respect being that it will not kill you. Oh, look at this. We've got like a smoke temple. In worship of what? I'm not quite sure. Maybe somebody had to summon the horse. Tell you what. Is zombie toilet horse accepting sacrifices? Devour me, feast of my flesh. I'm infected. I've got nausea, slowness, and blindness. As well as mining fatigue and a host of other things. And now, we're building a stockpile of ammo, food, and wood. Do you see where I'm going with this? Does it seem cheap? So do half my deaths. Deal with it. Look at that! I forgot I would leave a corpse behind. I have joined Zombie Toilet Horse. I hear that giggle. Everything is converging here. Builder flesh, so that's what we're known as. Zombie horse claims another victim. I claim more shotgun shells. That's absolutely terrifying, thank you. Now with some of our new ammo, we can go forward with a bit more confidence. Please just don't break down these stairs. Okay, there can only be room for one of us at the seat. Zombie toilet horse, I'm sorry to injure you. I just noticed the subtitle simply something laughs. More than one of you! I've never seen that before! Well, I mean, I guess when we were on the sea, but it was hard to tell. Can't mess with me now. This has been such an adventure, and I have not anticipated one single thing that's happened to me, or one thing that I've learned. All I know is that these beds have got to be around somewhere. Light pool bathrooms. I wonder if these stains on the ground are important. These certainly aren't good stains. This is a cool looking garden. I've still not determined why everything grows in this purple color. Nor do I know what this is. It looks like ash. Here they come. Wait, they could never discover my secret with builder science. What is your secret? What are you hoping to achieve here? Were all these bathrooms built by one madman? Occupado. I can hardly see what's in front of me, but look at that. You've got a telescope for watching through the slats in the roof of this building. An observatory with a starlit roof. And I've met the observer. And his friend Mike. You're placing TNT! Oh, it's a demo man! Well, I'm starving on top of everything, so I'm pretty dead. That's alright, bomb squad body. Look at how much armor that gives us. Unfortunately, we're not going to get a chance to use it. Hey, so I'm not sure anything in the subtitles accounts for that. I need to find where that daycare was. Merrifield Nursery. I'm not sure if... No, this isn't the same one, but it's a nursery. Hey, so that's not allowed. We're closed. Right, you guys aren't susceptible to shotgun blasts. I imagine we're susceptible to you, though. Oh my god. I don't have anything to stack on those stairs. Okay, gonna have to use a parallel exit. This almost feels like some kind of dungeon crawler roguelike. Except, at least in terms of the way it's generated. Gotta keep an eye out for you. I've also gotta keep an eye out for chests. Anything that might tell us something. Because as long as we can kind of read through the nonsense, there's a lot of useful information. Right, seek comfort in the light where we can. Wait. Research notes, nod 5. Notes. Windows facing windows. Sometimes a flicker of a broken light in another room. No people. Only things. Maybe it's just me. The staircases. I count the steps. 6 floors up, then the door opens. Looks exactly like where I started. Nothing makes sense here. Food left out doesn't spoil. It doesn't rot or change. It just sits, waiting. I think it's been here forever. It tastes normal, but some of it isn't real. I found a cake. It was made of plastic. Well, I suppose that explains why certain things couldn't be eaten off the shelf. Those pizzerias taunt me. Research notes nod, that's first. That nightmare just silently stalks, and it's not the only thing. I can never tell if it knows if I'm here or not. It's like it's playing with me. Time resumes when I awake, mechanism unknown. I think we've already seen this. I'll leave you to it. Could this be another of those beds? I think it just might be. there's invisible blocks surrounding them. Hang on. I'm gonna take a screenshot of the coordinates. Now we know. That almost sounded like a response to opening the chest. Alright, if this really is to be a way out, then sweet dreams to us. We're gonna have to wait until night. Also, we are now far away from our stuff. That's bad. I didn't realize it would set a respawn point. I thought it would work differently. Well, look, something we can do is use some of this barbed wire to seal off places we intend to sleep. That's one of the cooler things I think this introduces. Oh, I don't like some of what I'm hearing. Man, with mobs on, these places come alive in the dark. And yet it's balanced in such a way where you so rarely actually see monsters. I'll have a roasted almond. These have magical properties here, right? My god. Oh, that sound was you crawling through my trap, huh? There's a nightmare walking down there. Okay. Minor damage, minor damage. Wardco wants you. Apply to become a reality ambassador. Competitive benefits? No prior dimensional experience required. Am I already working? So what is this Merryfield? We've got the Merryfield Nursery, we've got these ads. But Wardco claims it's not making, almost like it's trying to lure people into their building. I really hope this actually is one of those beds. The surroundings kind of make it seem like it. There's definitely something weird about it. But if not, I'm just gonna have to ask how to make it happen. The light shafts kind of give me a rough idea of where the sun is. Alright, let's try it. May not rest now, there are monsters nearby. Well, you know what? We can fix that. I waited far too long for this. And it's not one of those things. Great. Look at that rain through the curtains. So satisfying. Even the cod are enjoying these toilets. Now this is a throne. This is what I'm talking about. Unfortunately, we can't sit here ourselves. But whoever lives here obviously rules this place. I mean, given the toilet-based morality of the day. Then again, this one sits at a higher throne, even if it is less fancy. I just heard the sound of a chest closing, and when I checked the subtitles, I did not like what it told me. Well, let's blindly blunder into whatever this is. I figured it would be something like that. Goodbye. Good day, sir. So you can listen out for that sort of thing. If you hear a chest close and it wasn't you, you know you've got a mimic. Raccoon Buddy! Hey! Look at that! You're showing me the way to my room! Raccoon Buddy, I am so glad you're here! I've got to put it off of peaceful. But look at that! You helped me find my way back! And now you're off to help somebody else in need. Oh, never mind. You're still right here. Hi. Here. Here. Wait, you like rotten flesh, right? right? Yeah, you love this stuff. Stones leading the way to a liminal boardroom. I know that this video is running super long, and there's a lot that I'm gonna have to cut to begin with, but I just keep finding all this new architecture, and it's all so interesting. I feel bad leaving things out, even if I know I have to. I've just realized this thing I was playing Ring Around the Rosie with a Nightmare with is actually a toy car. Yeah, they really did a number trying to get to me. Sometimes it's only later that I find evidence that something was on my tail, because I'll see the destruction they wrought to get to me. Look at all this. It's so wacky and zany. They've got arcade games. Actually seems like, you know what, now that I think about it, didn't they say that most of the missing were kids? That they may have been lured by the pink sheep? If you wanted to entice kids, how else would you get their attention? They've got milk and cookies. And a decaying attic. Wait. Research notes nod 3. This note about the plushes, I think we saw it earlier. But it says, are they entertaining themselves like a lost child? That takes on very different meaning here. Some kind of shrine? Or machine? Oh, no, I get it. I think this is a continuation of the arcades, because we can play some Crime Bros, which is really just Super Mario Brothers. King's Bridge 2, The Bridgening. Ooh. We can see the flickering light of the floor below. Oh, look at you, trapped in some spiderwebs, eh? Well, I can't get you out of this one, because I don't have a sword, and even if I did, it probably wouldn't be the safest solution. William's Pizza Diary. Day 3. The old diner is closed, but that's not my fault. I don't know where those kids went. Nobody does. But have you ever tried Moss Pizza? You should. Well, look, here's the thing. I live in New York. I have very strong pizza opinions. And the cool thing about New York is that even okay pizza is still good pizza. Page 13 of the Merrifield Chronicles. Early fall. Hall Scraper LLC claims relocation services are available for families displaced by minor disruptions. Most calls go unanswered. You've got a playpen, little toad plushes. Is it a playpen or a petting zoo? Well, this place is definitely leaning into the idea of building up rather than sideways. It's weird how there's like intermixed abandoned floors. I mean, technically the whole city is abandoned, but you know what I mean. Could these be what we're looking for? Just a pile of bones in the corner. As always, screenshot our coordinates. It won't even allow us to attempt to... Yes! Yes, it's these! rooftop, I think. I can hear crickets, birds chirping, cicadas. We're in an entirely separate reality, just a slice of it for a moment. Are those emus? Or like cassowary or something? Unfortunately, I don't have my wildlife book anymore. No, emus. Thankfully, the subtitles confirm. What is this place? Are you one of the locals? Rude locals. Won't talk to strangers. But even just being able to hear those sounds, even though this place appears just as abandoned as where we left, I can't help but feel more comforted. Look! There's actual trees, hills on the horizon. I just need to find a way out of here. Maybe it's not a good sign that this place seems so empty, but I'm happy to be here, that's for sure. I haven't seen a street, a park in quite a long time. Those statues are still ever present. I was thinking I had been transported to what it called the City of Nod. Maybe now I've made it back. Maybe it wasn't my organization that sent me there. Either way, maybe I got there by sleeping, and only in some certain way I could get back, but only by sleeping again to wake from the dream. And maybe now we find that whatever happened there has consumed our reality as well? So many unanswered questions. We'll have to spend some more time here. But either way, just feeling my feet touch the grass, to feel it crunch underfoot, that's something that is so overwhelming that I can't even think about the what-ifs right now. I don't know what I've entered into or what I've left. All I know is that there was a weight on me that I didn't even know I could feel, a wrongness, until I came back here and it was suddenly, at least briefly, lifted. Endless generation, endless mechanics and creatures, totally customizable, so much exploration that only gets bigger and more varied over time. And the ability to take this from whatever perspective we like, for whatever reason we have for being here, allowing us to define it. And this storytelling that's been included is just so creepy and with so many unanswered questions. And yet I always feel like I'm learning more, both from discovering documents and from engaging with the world and just seeing what happens. It really encourages a scientist's perspective, and I'm so glad that at least one class of this leans into that. For now, though, I'm content to just rest on this hill and watch the sunset in relative peace, even if it's only from the sounds giving me a sense of normalcy. And if you like this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more creepy and comfy content. If you have any ideas for other videos you think I should do, the best place to suggest that will be at the Discord, which I will link in the description. If you want to try this mod pack out for yourself, that link will also be in the description. If you want to support me on Patreon, that link will be in the description. And as always, I will see you in the next one.